Hey you guys, back with another video, and this time it has to do with some of my favorite track and field stars, so I had to jump on this one the moment I saw the news unfolding about it. The first story is about Sanya Richards-Ross joining the Real Housewives franchise for season 14, and also Usain Bolt giving some helpful advice to Sha'Carri Richardson regarding her interactions and interviews and how she can focus on herself as opposed to what others have to say. Now, before I cover the first story, I want to provide a quick synopsis or a brief backstory for those who don't know who Sanya Richards-Ross is. Sanya Richards used to compete in track and field, winning numerous gold medals. Her specialty was in the 400-meter run and the 400-meter relay, and this is where she won a majority of her gold medals. She is currently retired from track, and I loved watching Sanya Richards run. And a fun fact about her is that she was originally born in Kingston, Jamaica, but her family relocated to Florida when they realized she had an affinity for running, and they did this in hopes that she would obtain a scholarship to attend a prestigious university. Now, unfortunately, she did suffer from an injury in the 2016 Olympics, and this is what led to her retirement. But her fastest time in the 400 was 48.70, which is a little faster than Allison Felix's time in the 400 of 49.46. But enough with that. You guys see I follow track and field stats closely because I am a huge fan of track. I used to do sprints back in high school myself, and that's why I get excited covering these types of stories. So the first story is based on an article I came across, and it talks about Sanya Richards joining season 14 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it says, Olympic gold medalist Sanya Richards is joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast of season 14. This isn't Sanya's first foray into reality television. Back in 2013, Sanya and her husband, former NFL cornerback Aaron Ross, had their own reality show, Sanya's Glam and Gold, on WeTV. Sources say Sanya is preparing to film with the cast. Whether or not she'll become an actual housewife or an official friend of the show depends on how well she performs. Production has every intention of offering her a full-time housewife position if she does well. I have to be honest with my opinion on this development, but I don't think Sanya should try to join this franchise because everyone by now is familiar with how reality TV portrays Black women, and reality TV is something that makes Black people in general look very uncivilized. And when you guys watch Real Housewives, the women are almost always vindictive, dysfunctional, and inconsequential, starting fights out of thin air, then someone suggesting that everyone gets together to clear the air and air out their frustrations, when about 9.5 times out of 10, this almost never happens. I know this because other franchises mimic this same dynamic, like Married to Medicine, Love and Hip Hop, and Basketball Wives. They all fall under this same umbrella. And I've read articles in the case of Real Housewives of Atlanta where producers have tried to get people like T-Boz and Chili from TLC to join the cast on several occasions, and they have to keep declining the offer. T-Boz and Chili are both well aware of how these brands prove to be more of a detriment to your name, and it's because they try to portray you as something you know you're not. I know the article mentioned that this would be kind of like a test season for Sanya, so I'm guessing if she mixes well with the drama, or if she somehow manifests the drama herself, that will be the determining factor on if she stays or goes. And more than likely, some provisional contract is in place, and contingent upon her performance, this will help producers decide if she will appear on future seasons. Now, I already had an opinion on the show, and others alike. To me, they need to be canceled because they perpetuate negative stereotypes and embellished caricatures of Black culture. You either need to be loud, flamboyant, or not be forthcoming with crucial information in order to satisfy the masses, because drama is what sells. If a healthy environment with normal communication were displayed on these shows, I can guarantee you they would have been done years ago, because that would be too positive. And this is actually a short article, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and finish the rest of it out. So moving on, it says, back in July, it was revealed that the Real Housewives of Atlanta casting was in shambles and that Portia Williams was likely not returning. The network loves Portia and wants her to stay, but Portia reportedly doesn't want to deal with the negativity surrounding her soon-to-be husband. Her concern is that, for example, producers and or the other ladies will bring other women to the show that Simon has allegedly been involved with. Also, it was revealed that Cynthia Bailey was likely out, and Sheree Whitfield was likely in, and that Marlo Hampton was seriously in the running for a peach. It'll be interesting to see how Sanya fits in with the rest of the ladies when filming begins, but she certainly checks all of the boxes we were told production wanted. This late in the game, they really have no choice but to add her if they intend to bring any new blood into the show. They were already forced to keep Drew Sidora for that very reason. Production is aggressively interviewing new prospects in hopes of filling all 7 slots. They're specifically looking for ladies with husbands and or significant others. It's actually funny when you guys think about it, because based on that first part I read, these networks need us more than we need them. When I say drama sells, they want to see Black people act in an abnormal, buffoonish manner because to them, we're nothing more than a modern day minstrel show, just entertainment. And I wish on a collective level we would stop signing up for their show because, again, it's just not a good look for us when you see our people on television making a fool of themselves and behaving in such an unethical way. And this is done intentionally to distort the Black community's image. They are frantically searching for Black women to join the show, and I'm hoping they either cancel the show or Black women stop agreeing to sign on for this retrograde nonsense. Now, on a lighter note, let's go to Usain Bolt and what he said about Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, you guys know Sha'Carri has been having a rough time still, and I think it could be a culmination of different events going on, and it's creating this domino effect. Her performances are being affected adversely, and I've been noticing ever since her mom passed that seems to be the source of when things started to take a turn for the worse. I also believe that her not being able to compete in the Olympics for the US may have also had a negative impact on her, because while I can't even imagine what was going through her mind at that time, I'm sure in a way she probably harbored feelings of disappointment in herself, and she probably felt like she let her mom down. And that's why I believe it to be a domino effect, because one bad situation is affecting all other subsequent events. Now, I did a video 2 months ago about how I was looking forward to her running at the Prefontaine event. However, she didn't do well at this event either. She came in last, and after the race ended, her interview was a little cringeworthy because her responses were abrasive. And normally athletes are taught to always have good sportsmanship and practice humility. I would like to attribute it to her mom's passing and the Olympics fiasco, and possibly even her age. She is still young, but I'm only just speculating and trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. One thing I will say is I'm actually a little disappointed in Sha'Carri's responses towards other track athletes, because no one has said anything to her negative at all. If anything, it's either been cordial or respectful. However, her perception of the words is that it's coming from a place of vitriol. The Jamaican sprinters were asked about Sha'Carri shortly after the race at the Prefontaine event, and they interviewed them. I thought the interviewers were trying to cause some tension, but thankfully the Jamaican women didn't fall for the bait and steered clear of saying anything off-putting about Sha'Carri. Allyson Felix also tried to say warm words of encouragement, but Sha'Carri wasn't receptive to any of what Allyson said and took problem with this as well. And I would think Sha'Carri would welcome Allyson's words openly, because they are both Black women and they are both part of the US team. So I was a little upset about that, because I really like Allyson Felix. She is extremely nice, and I've only ever seen her uplift her teammates. And I remember when that occurred, a lot of Black Twitter was upset as well with Sha'Carri's response towards Allyson, because Allyson was trying to extend an olive branch of support to Sha'Carri to let her know that someone was in her corner. And when you fast forward a few weeks later, Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man from Jamaica, now offers his opinion about Sha'Carri. He believes talk less and train harder. Now, it would be understandable as to why he takes this stance concerning Sha'Carri, because Sha'Carri was doing a lot of trash talk. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but during the height of the Olympics, during the track events, Sha'Carri posted on social media a status that said, "Miss me yet?" Her arrogance and lack of humility serves as a major inhibitor, and I'm not sure what brought this cockiness and self-absorbed persona into her demeanor, but it's not fitting for her at all. She, of course, decided to reply to Usain Bolt by posting in her Instagram story a comment left by one of her followers, which stated that everyone wants to give advice to her in the media, but no one wants to reach out to her personally without the media being present. Now, my whole thing is no one is obligated to meet with you face to face to relay words of wisdom to you, especially given her undesirable behavior and because of her current expressions. It causes people to send love and support from a distance because no one should have to occupy the space you're in with all of that negative energy around you. And I want to reiterate once more that I feel strongly for Sha'Carri because her entire life changed within a matter of months and she was dealt some very unfortunate circumstances. But that's no excuse to go around treating everyone disdainfully because of those events. I would recommend that if you are still suffering and maybe need some time, maybe just take a year off and come back. That is completely okay. Sometimes we need to take a moment and analyze some things in our life and ask ourselves the question, am I okay? And if I'm not okay, what steps can I take to make sure I get to a space where I'm at least all right? This lashing out at people who seem to be coming from a place of genuine sincerity is unacceptable, and while I do hope she finds inner peace, the rude responses to everyone who wishes her the best is intolerable. But let me know what your thoughts are on this. Do you think Sanya Richards should be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? And do you think Sha'Carri will continue to have this streak of misfortune if she doesn't learn to embrace humility? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you in the next video.